build. However, here is what we have. We're going to start the demo with what you guys created, actually.
Exactly.
Because we've said it, this is a demo that's been updated with the community-created assets, arts and music. So we wanted to start with your contribution into our common, actually, demo. So that's, Emil, you can let us know about this.
You see a lot of examples of integrations from the community inside the demo, but this one is really interesting because it's actually a depiction of the Moksha's Gate we've been talking about, something that hybrids are dreaming about, for them. They hope that one day they will cross this gate and reach a safe heaven where they will live in complete freedom. And what I really like with this artwork, it shows that the hybrids, so they don't have so many means to create those artworks. They are doing it with what they found. Exactly, they do that with what they found, and this artwork is really interesting for that. It was the perfect place actually to put it at the beginning of the demo in this weird cave actually where our players are moving.
It's quite emotional for us to show this because again it's not only our work, it's the work we created together, so that's really, really great.
Exactly.
So BGE is an RPG, action adventure RPG. You can play alone or with your friends in co-op. Today's demo is going to be 2 players. So we have Audrey on the right of the screen and Johan on the left of the screen. Johan and Audrey picked their characters at the beginning of BGE, so they are picking among the different DNAs that Emil was talking about earlier. And Johan picked the DNA shared with Nox, so it's a monkey DNA.
Hybrid monkey DNA.
Hybrid monkey DNA. He customized it to his liking, so with a different outfits, so black outfit, face tattoos, so it's really his character. Audrey picked a female character who shares the same DNA as Shani, the legendary character of the trailers. But she customized her character the way she wanted, with custom gear and custom costumes. So it's really, you play your own character. So what's happening here? We want to give an adventure flavor to BGE too. So
our 2 players here, they have heard about strange rumors of hybrids trafficking taking place in an underground abandoned temple of Ganesha city. And so they've entered this old abandoned temple, and now they're exploring it. They don't know what they're going to find out. It's very important. Exactly, they're on a quest. It's very important for us to have these mysteries, those investigations that you are going to lead to try to discover the darkest secrets, taking place in System 3.
Yeah, and so you're going to have in the game many areas like this where you need to just search for your object, search for things, unveil the mysteries. It's key for us because we want this link with BGE1 with this adventure flavor. We said in the beginning, BGE2 is about make you feel as a space pirate captain. So gameplay-wise, really concretely gameplay-wise, we define 3 key abilities for you to use as a space pirate captain. These are the moves that you're going to be doing a lot. So you've got a gun, you can shoot. You've got a sword to fight close combat. And you've got jetpack, so you can fly around. So these are your 3 key abilities. And on top of that, we added another layer that we call the augments. What
we call augments. So augments are actually specific power, specific abilities that you can equip either on your gun, your sword, or even on your character. And depending on where you equip them, it will change their effects. You can build specific decks also combining different types of augments. Keep in mind that augments basically will define your playstyle as a space pirate captain.
And you're going to loot them, you're going
to
unlock
them and find the rarest
So here we see that Audrey has been frozen.
Exactly. There is friendly fire, of course, on augments, so you can annoy your teammates when you play in groups of friends.
And the effects just accumulate to make some crazy
you can stack the effects of the augments. Very interesting also for that.
So once our demoists are finished fooling around with the augments, we're gonna continue the demo. So BGE is a game you play alone, as I said, or with your friend in co-op. But in this game, you don't need to stick together in the universe. So here, Audrey is going to be parting ways with Johan for this small part, and so she's going to be going in this corridor. We're going to switch to Johan, who took another route. So Johan is exploring this part of the temple, and he's stumbling upon this big dust bins filled with hybrid monkey parts. So arms, legs cut down to pieces. So it's a bit sad and a bit creepy.
Creepy,
so it goes in with your investigation of knowing what's happening in this area. And what we like to say is, if as a player, if you didn't escape your fate as an hybrid monkey slave, then maybe you would have ended in this dustbins with your fellow unlucky hybrid monkeys.
Hybrids,
So now Johan is progressing carefully. We see in the distance that there's some light, and we can distinguish some enemies. So we're going to go back, switch to Audrey's point of view for the next part of the
Audrey is reaching the same room from above, and we can see those creepy scientists in the distance, making some weird experiments on hybrids. And now Audrey is using the spyglass, another very, very important equipment for space pirate captains. With the spyglass, you can scan your environment. You can also scan enemies. And when you scan enemies, you can see that they are also equipped with specific augments.
Yeah, it's giving you a lot of information.
Exactly. Augments that you have can also be equipped on enemies. And depending of the augments equipped on the enemies, they will behave totally in different ways and attack you in different ways.
So this guy is a pushback.
Exactly. And the creepy scientists, they have some healing bullets. It means that they will be able to heal the guards during the fight, so you have to be careful about that. So if you want to take time to have the right strategy for combat, it's always good, to scan your enemy first.
Yeah, but you're not forced.
Exactly. If you don't want to do it and rush into the action, you can also do it, of course. Just gives an extra layer.
Yeah. So I think that's the moment where we switch back to Johan, and our players are going to engage.
They are going to engage the fight, so they can synchronize between themselves to really start the fight at the best moment and at the best strategy. So now we're going to go back on Johan.
So he's going to
take his gun to shoot actually an augment. He's been shooting a freezing augment on one of the scientists. And the start is now fighting. The big blue dome that you're seeing there is actually slowing down enemies. So once enemies enter this dome, they move very, very slowly. It's easier for you to hit them with your sword.
And you can see that during the fight, you can use the three basic abilities. So
exactly.
Shooting, augments, for example, fighting with your sword, and also combining the jetpack, so you can have actions from the air down.
You can launch some specific attacks from your jetpack when you're flying above the enemies. So again, augments would be very, very important for you to succeed in your fight against the various enemies that you will meet in the game.
In this demo, we have only a few augments, and
very limited.
JP is going to be coming a bit later to show you the progress.
Give you an update about this.
And this is very important for us to share this. The main message we want to give to the players here is that we're bringing back melee combat from BGE1 to BGE2. That's the key thing. So we're done.
Yeah, all the enemies have been taken down. And now Johan is going to use the spyglass again. As you can see, one of the hybrids is not dead. He's not in a good shape, but he's not dead. And you can scan him. And by scanning him, you will see that he has the skills of a mechanic. This is very important because, like I was saying, in the game, you will be able to recruit your crew members among all the people you will meet. So you could, if you need a mechanic, you could actually recruit this guy to put him in your crew. We're not showing too much of this today, but keep in mind that building the best crew possible is very, very important in Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Yes, as we said, so you've got three key abilities, your sword, your gun, and your jetpack. And so that's on the micro gameplay part of things. And on a larger scale, to define our space pirate experience, we want you to have your space captain, your crew, and your ship. So these are the three big pillars. Talking of ships, here are some. They are conveniently parked here for the purpose of the demo. The main thing here is that any vehicle you see in the game, you can drive it, you can fly it. So this overbike, this fighter, you can fly them. Our demoists are going to give us a tour through outside of this temple into Ganesha City. So welcome to Ganesha City. So this is our in-game version of the city that you saw is in our trailers. So that's the same place. As I said already, you can part ways. Johan is going to be doing his stuff and still be in the same session, but we will follow Audrey, who's going to give us a tour of the inside of Ganesha City. So we start with the lower part of the city, where the hybrids are living.
You can see the shanty towns where the hybrids are living right over there.
It's a kind of a segregation going on in this city, with hybrids living down in the shanty towns and humans living up in the the upper part of the city.
Yeah.
We're gonna make a spotlight on this
on the
giant
left, you can see
fresco.
A beautiful example of the community creation. This,
created by you.
Exactly, these murals, religious murals
It's
depicting,
really
of course, the divinity Ganesha. And as you can see, we had this huge wall, so we had to put it there. Keep in mind that there will be many places, especially in huge city, to display actually creations from the community. So this would be a unique way for you guys to actually see your creations in the final game.
In the same way, you can pick up any vehicle and drive it. You can land any place in the city. There's no problem. You can enter a lot of places as well. We'll see this in a moment. We really like this position in Ganesha City on the foot of this huge statue. And this statue is mixing high-tech elements such as hologram and old-style statues. And we really like this very specific atmosphere that it brings to Ganesha City and to science fiction as we see it. You can see there's a lot of traffic in the city, but we'll see in the updated videos on the traffic that we'll have later that we've improved this a lot over the past few months. In the city, so you've got the traffic, you've got statues, but you also got some specific locations, such as here, you can see the police station that's guarded with scouting ships, police scouting ships, and also a heavy frigate. You can use your spyglass to have information on everything, and it's kind of an upgraded version of the camera
from the first game,
BGE1.
exactly. Yeah.
So you can take pictures and etc., but you can do much more with this spyglass. Here we're scanning the traffic to see what kind of vehicles are there. Here we're scanning this building to see it's a temple. You can enter this temple the same way we were in a few minutes ago. There's a bank here if you want to do some robbery or if you just want to withdraw money to go to that shop, for example.
For a pirate, all these locations are opportunities. You can steal those places, you can attack them, you can also choose to actually buy something. If you want to be a nice pirate.
Exactly. In the shop you can buy augments, you can buy gear, you can buy new outfits. So it's really up to your liking. So here Audrey is gonna steal another borrow another overbike. So in this version, there's no police coming after you for this, but it's coming into this version. So here, what we are listening to is also a community-created asset, and especially music for Radio Cheetah.
Yeah, the Space Pirate
radio. Yes, exactly. So we'll leave you to listen to this. The one is still here, playing with us. So we are coming to this location. That's the gate of Ganesha City Main Street. It's the opening of the city, and it's a place where tourists from all over System 3 are like to come and to take pictures of this giant Ganesha statue that we're going to visit a bit later in the demo.
Closer.
Yeah. So now we say that BGE2 is about your character, your being yourself and expressing yourself in the game. So you can do it with your captain, space pirate captain, but also with your ships.
Yeah, basically keep in mind that all the aspect of your pirate fantasy, you will be able to customize them in the game. So you will be able to customize, of course, your small ships, the fighters, as we call them, but you will be also able to customize in the same way your huge mothership that we will see a bit later in the demo. So here, Audrey is playing with the various modules that are composing her fighter and changing completely, of course, the visual aspect of this fighter, but also changing the way this ship will, the handling and the way you pilot this ship. She's also playing with the gear, and she will finish with all the cosmetic elements to customize her ship. So the color palette, of course, but also the pattern, and she will finish this by putting an emblem, pirate logo on her ship. And you will see that as soon as she has finished the ship, she will be able to play with this ship in the demo.
Instantly,
exactly,
you get into
created.
the ship. Yeah,
exactly. So
We're
in the distance, Johan, as you can see, as he approached a bit too close to the big statue, the big Ganesha
so we switched to
exactly.
point of view.
And there are rules in this city, and it attracted the police, and the police is now attacking Johan. So Audrey is going to try to join him
taking some hits.
Exactly, to help him fight all those small
He's
police.
a bit outnumbered.
Exactly, a small police fighter. And there's also a big frigate there, and our two players are not strong enough at the moment to take down this frigate, so they have to make sure that they take down this small ship and try to escape. As you can see, we have this pretty nervous dogfight that is...
now we're back on Audrey.
Exactly, Audrey is coming to help Johan. There will be also fights with big motherships. Those fights will play totally differently. It will be much slower. You will have to move your ship around the other one and fight at the right moment. Exactly. But the dogfights are, they play like this.
And there's something we need to add is that you have augments for your ships as well.
Yeah, for instance, you could have healing missiles, and you could shoot them at some friends to heal them during a co-op fight. So they're doing a pretty good job taking down all those small fighters from the police.
And as we said, so here is the big frigate.
Yeah.
And they're a bit too weak for
too
now.
strong. You see that the missiles don't break it, so
they're going to have to escape from here. Yeah. But before this, we asked Johan to go very close to the head of the statue,
so you can see the details.
To show you the details of this giant statue that was built by the inhabitants of Ganesha
Probably
City.
built by hybrid slave, by the way.
Probably, yes. Yeah. The dark side of the statue.
Exactly.
So Audrey is now putting a marker on her mothership, which is parked a bit further away from the city. It's a few thousand kilometers away, so we're going to be going to that place. But don't worry, because we have really big speeds in the game. We'll be there in no time. So
stay with us.
Stay with us. Before this, Audrey will do a small stunt close to the statue.
Yeah. Pretty risky.
Yes, thank you. And she's going to fly over Ganesha City. So that's the city we were in a few minutes ago. We're going to aim at Cameron Spaceport, this city, and then take up the sky to the to Audrey's mothership. And now that's my favorite moment of the demo. I'm saying to everyone, please take a moment to remember where we were 10 minutes ago. We were inside a hidden temple beyond the surface of Ganesha City. We fought a close quarter combat with some guards and scientists. Then we escaped through the city with overbikes and through the traffic. We fought against the police around the giant statue and then flew to this location on top of the planet. So really, in a few minutes, we went seamlessly from a small interior to the grand view of the full planet.
Exactly.
And that's one of the key things in BGE2. It's that difference of scales that you can feel during the gameplay and transitioning from a small scale, like a human scale, to a planetary scale. And going through the spaceship scale, so it's very mind-boggling, and that's what really drives us to move forward. We want that feeling to be super cool.
A quick comment about the mothership of Audrey. She customized her mothership to make it look like the Gada, the famous mothership of the Kini, the one we've been showing in our two trailers. But you can imagine that you can customize it in a totally different way.
And it's roughly 500 meters long.
Yeah, it's pretty long.
It's a really
pretty huge ship. Yeah.
So Audrey has exited her spaceship, fighter, sorry, and you can see a very rough effect on her character. It's just a work in progress effect to show you that you've got a shield when you are out in the in the open. You can breathe with no difficulty. If you want to see a better looking version, look at the 2018 trailer when Shani is exiting her space fighter to go to the space, and she has this kind of effect. I was talking about scale, so it's very important for us to have links between the different scales of gameplay. So this geoglyph is kind of...
This is another great example of community creation. Yeah, this is a giant geoglyphs. We want to have several geoglyphs like this on the surface of the different planets.
Reminds of the Nazca.
Exactly. So this has been created by the community, and the idea is that when you see a geoglyph like this from space, when you are flying above the planet, these geoglyphs are actually hints for treasures hidden on the ground of the planet, or maybe mystery secret entrance to temples. And the idea is that we want you to come closer to this geoglyph and land on the ground of the planet to try to find the secret inside this geoglyph.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a way for us to attract you to the surface of the planet from outer space.
Yes.
We are going to use the spyglass again to look at Ganesha City from this distance. You will see that we can scan everything in the game, including large cities.
Ganesha City is pretty far away at that point.
It is.
and we're zooming on it.
We're zooming on it. We see the information, Ganesha City. And we can even see the giant statue that we flew around a few minutes ago. It's here. It's rendered in real time by our engine. So if...
traffic is still running in the city at that moment. Everything is still there.
If Johan, our co-op player, is in the city, we can join him again, and there's no loading, nothing. It's all seamless.
Exactly.
And when we say seamless, we mean that not only we can go from scales to different scales in the same time, but also the different systems are crossing themselves seamlessly. This is our universe map. So it's not a regular 2D map of the game universe. It's a real thing. This is the planet that we were on a few minutes ago, rendered normally, and it's just a point of view that we give to you. So here we can see the giant geoglyph here that Emil and I just talked about. We can see Ganesha City. We've placed icons so that you can conveniently find your way back to the places you've been already. We've got some question marks to tease you on some new stuff. And earlier in the stream, Gab and Emil showed you a concept art of the planet of Soma, and this is what you see here. So we've got New India, and if we rotate the planet on the left, then we see Naraka. So that's the side that's hit by meteorites, and it exists in the game already. You
can see those huge craters, created by all those meteorite showers, falling on the ground of the planet. This side of the planet, Naraka, of course, there are no cities there. You can't build a city like Ganesha City on this side of the planet. But if you want, you can go and explore it as a space pirate.
And as we saw in the artwork, there are some mines for...
exactly. There will be things to explore, of course, on this side of the planet.
But it's a very dangerous part of the planet that you cannot really settle in.
No.
If we zoom back again a bit, we see that this is the planet we are working on. It's very big in size. As you see, Ganesha City is small, but we can even zoom back and to see in real time. Again, it's in-game. It's not an image. We see the real Soma, the real Deus, which is the gas giant. Soma is rotating around, and it's rendered by our simulation, actually. And if we zoom back again, we see the whole System 3. And again, this is your zone for playing. The
area you'll have to explore in the game. This is a great moment to talk about our day and night cycle. We didn't code any day and night cycle in this game. The day and night cycle is created by the fact that planets are rotating around the sun, so we have actually a solar system simulation in the game created this day and night cycle.
So we've got beautiful sunsets. Exactly. They are procedurally generated.
Exactly.
So we are back on Audrey, and actually we're going to switch to Johan to end up this demo. I said several times that you can part ways with your co-op friends in the game and then join again without all of this seamlessly. And that's you can do it in a small dungeon, you can do it in a city, but you can also do it across the whole universe. So here Johan is a living ground, and you can see that because he's still in the atmosphere, there is air friction on his spaceship. As soon as he's going to be out of the atmosphere, the effects of the flames are going to diminish like this, meaning no air friction anymore, and now he can reach speeds that are huge speeds. Yeah. Audrey is still here on the planet, so as I said, everything is happening in the same universe completely seamlessly. I think that's the end of our game demo. So we are really happy that we share this with you. to wrap things up, what we want to do with this game really is to make Ubisoft's very own space opera, where you embody a space pirate captain and you develop it and you customize it and you become a pirate legend.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
We're done.
We're done. Don't expect anything else.
There you go, Space Monkeys. Thank you so much for sharing this this demo with the Space Monkeys. And